I'm making this video because someone asked me to show you guys around my garden. I made a video a while back and I was talking about it, but never really went in depth. It's been a while since then, so it's a lot bigger now. So yeah, this is what that video is going to be. So right here is my first area. I guess I should mention that pretty much all of my garden is succulents. There aren't too many flowers or fruit plants. I've just had more difficulty with them, and I like all of the properties that succulents have. All of the ones here actually, are cutoffs from bigger plants. So fun fact. Right here, which is close to the last place, is all of my potted plants. I have quite the collection. There's some big ones, and they seem to randomly just get big. Some of them stay weak and small, and other ones get big like this guy. And then back here is all of my propagations, which, if you don't know what that is, it's pretty much when you take off the leaf from one of the succulents and then leave it either in the air or in the dirt, and it'll grow a whole new plant. And some of the bigger ones are, you could actually consider that to be a full-size plant. It's still really small, but you get the idea. And when they get bigger, I put them into this group nursery, you could call it. And they stay in here until they go into the pots. Right here are a bunch of my bigger plants. A lot of them were bought this size, but some of them were also just propagated from a stem or a leaf. And below that are some pretty big plants, like this guy. Bought them really big. And also these ones down here. This whole area of my garden has a bunch of big plants. This is my hand for scale. And these are actually kind of the smallest ones in the area around here. There's this one. It's agave species. Let me try to zoom out a little. You can see this is my hand for scale. This is the biggest one I have. It's agave americana. Right now it's actually suffering from some mealy bugs. I can show you. All those little white dots are actually bugs sucking all the juice out of it. I'll try to have some stuff to fix that up soon, hopefully. And the agave actually splits up a lot into little babies. This is the biggest one right there, and there's about 4 or 5 more all around. Right here is kind of like a, I don't know what you call it, like a garden bed. It's somewhat lightly sprinkled, but I'd have to say it's the most developed area right now. Plants actually do really well in the dirt. You know, people use fertilizer and all that kind of stuff, but while I do like to put fertilizer in pots, planting them straight into dry dirt doesn't work too badly, you know? These ones I got about a year ago, and these aren't even like how big they were. They had several extra heads that I cut off, and I'm gonna propagate those soon. And yeah, pretty much everything gets healthier when I put it in the ground. And like I said, lots of big plants. This one was also just little heads that I stuck into the ground, and now that pretty much the whole pot is full of them. This one, of course, is a baby of the big agave. This one is my biggest, yeah, I gotta be careful, they poke me a lot. This is my biggest aloe plant. Just like the others, it's aloe alligator, not to be confused with aloe vera. These ones are a lot spikier, and they seem to grow a lot bigger and fatter than the aloe vera variant. And also, this is another species of aloe blue elf, I think. It's kind of a hybrid. These are just little propagations. The bigger ones I have back there. This is kind of just a collage I have. And over here, it's Fred Ives. It's a very easy to cut off and split off plant. And that's pretty much this whole section. Over here, I have a few different species of flowers. These ones I actually took out of the ground from somewhere else in my garden, and I planted them in here, and they're doing pretty good for having been dug up and put back. Pretty much all these plants, actually, I didn't buy them. They came when we moved in, and I've just been doing my own experiments on them. And also you'll see a lot of these in the next area. I just have a ton of alligators. I pulled up a bunch of them for my grandma. This one is also another species. It's not the alligator, the blue elf, or the Vera. I don't know what it is, but it goes really huge. And it may not be an aloe, it could be an agave plant, but I've never checked what species it is. It likes to grow big flowers too, but it's really high maintenance, so usually I just keep it around till I get enough seeds and then I cut off the flower. This is my aloe vera plant that I mentioned just now. It's my oldest plant in this entire garden. It came out of a pot like this big, and now it's just bloomed out. It's amazing. No propagations actually have come out of it yet, which is surprising. But I'm more than happy to have a plant this big that I can say I grew all the way. And yeah, the rest of this area is really barren. Well, there's that area, but yeah. And then last area is coming up. This is the last area, pretty much. Like I said, there's a bunch of alligators here. This one is the biggest out of them all. It has some flowers that I haven't cut off yet. And they're actually pretty huge. This one was the biggest when I got them all. It's kind of rivaled by the other one that I had. But since it's in the ground, it seems to have more of an advantage. And then here's why I don't really like flowers too much. It's really hot here in California. So these marigolds are doing okay, but there's a giant sunflower here and also a bunch of other marigolds, and these ones are the only things that survived. But with some more time, they could look nice. They just need to recover from very little water. This isn't exactly part of my garden, but it's part of it in a different sense. All of these leaves were part of a bigger plant before, many different species, you know. You can tell by looking at them. There's about 7 or so different species here. And when you leave a plant, like a leaf from a succulent, out long enough to grow, you can kind of see there's a little plant baby coming out of it. Some species will have actual mini stems and others will have roots, but they both come over time. Actually, I'm going to try to do some experiments now that I can videotape my garden better, so I'll be looking forward to that. Also, we'll do progression videos because I like the whole idea of just long videos condensed down, just showing the progression of something growing over time. Well, that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. If I could say some last things, this garden is taking me around 1 or 2 years to build up. It's a very long experience. It takes a while and a lot of dedication. But thank you for watching the video, and I'll see you around in whatever the next video is.